right, so in this video, we're going to talk about more of the technical side about how to communicate with part two here. And I'm going to use this early childhood literacy example that I did. You can read through the example document here. Um, Basically, as I did the template, I thought about the most interesting thing was individual books tracking categories showed AI demonstrates lower expectations for Las Cruces than in Madison. So there were no recommendations of advanced books nonfiction. Other educators, teachers might use AI to help build classroom libraries. This is why they should care. And then what's a hook? Like I want to open with the idea individual book recommendations are mostly fine, but then the problem is at the level of the individual titles, it's structural. It's about what AI frames as normal, whose children it imagines as the audience and what it assumes about learners and where they live. So this is kind of my outline of what I want to do. Now there's two formats. There is the web page and then also a screen recording, which I think making slides first would be great. You need to choose based on what the content is. I'm using this example because I want to show how to do the web page primarily. And in this example, I did a lot of like sharing. I had equal screen pictures showing compare and contrast pictures. And so it'll be really nice on like a web page because I can compare them. It's harder to do that on a video. I want the viewer to spend time looking at the different pictures. And on the video, it's me more pushing them through time-wise, which is different, okay? So, and then we have some tips, some screenshots, or a screen recording. Now, just a quick couple comments about the screen recording. It's not slide reading. I want your slide to be visual and they're the evidence. I do not want you to read slides. There should be very little text on your slides. You're welcome to use AI to help create slides. However, know that usually AI puts a lot of text on slides. Please do not do that. All right? Make sure that you make a plan. Do not go over 5 minutes. Don't just say I did this and then I did that. You're going to actually tell a story with what you did. And there's design principles you need to follow no matter what you do. So just if you do slides, please follow these principles. The person should not, if they turn the sound off or the captions off, they should not be able to understand what you're saying because there should not be enough text on the slide that it would make them understand. For accommodations, we're going to use the actual captions for the text if someone couldn't hear it instead of having all the text on the slides. All right? Okay, and then we have some checklists. So let me go ahead and talk through how I might do the HTML web page. And again, I did this briefly, but I'm starting over. I don't remember everything I did before. So this is really going to be me figuring it out as I go to some degree. And that's what you have to do. You kind of have to figure it out as you go. So I'm going to start with something as simple as this. I need to create a web page with this based on this exploration. I'm going to actually attach the document to get me started because we want to give the AI as much information as we can. I want to include a lot of visual screenshots, and this is important. I have the files for the screenshots. And most of you are doing Google Sites. I will have the images uploaded to a Google Drive folder. So this is one of the challenges you're going to have is actually getting the images. So this is important. I have the images uploaded to the Google Drive folder and can give you the links for each of them. Okay? But I want to start with help me think through how to design it. And I'm going to go ahead right now and give it a list of the screenshots I have. These are the images I have to support the story, but I don't need to use all of them. I can use some or all. And I'm going to change it to thinking. Eventually, I'm probably going to go to Pro because I'm going to be coding. But first, I'm just having it help me think through what to do. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pull the file. This is my example file, and I'm going to actually attach it. Well, I got to do it this way. And I'm going to actually attach it because it can look and see what my initial brainstorming is. right? And it can help me that way. And then I actually saved all the files. Let me find them. Okay, I uploaded the screenshots I did of everything I was doing into this Google folder. And very important, you need to change the sharing permissions. So I'm actually just going to go to this folder itself. I put it all in a single folder so I can share. And when I share it, I need to have anyone with the link can view. Otherwise, it will not work when I put it on my website. This is very important. So the whole folder is shared that way. Now, I actually already copied down the names of the files and then the links. I get the links by just going here and just, how did I get? Share, copy, link. So I made a list of what they all were and the links. This way, when Gemini is doing this, it knows what images I have and it can actually put it in the code, all right? So I have my template, I have a prompt that's asking me to help think through the story, and then I have the images I want to integrate. And I'm gonna go ahead and run that. Okay, this is what it gave me. It's great, you have evidence organized, follow the design principles, because it got all that from this document, right? So the hook, and then it said you could use these images, find defaults, and it kind of walked me through. Now, I'm making this video quickly, but normally I would go through and really think, do I agree with this? Do I want to do it this way or differently? And then it has to take one step at a time for the beginning. What is one thing you want your audience to walk away with after they go through your page? And I think I want to put they need to use their own experiences, and I'm kind of stuck on this theme. You don't have to have this theme. It's just what I think about all the time when they use AI to get ideas for books, right? So I'm going to have a back and forth conversation to help kind of organize these ideas. The nice thing about doing this with AI is it's letting me really focus on these ideas. It's letting me look at the big picture instead of each having to worry about the code for each detail. All right. So I'm going to jump ahead, even though I would keep doing this. I'm going to go ahead and have it create. And I'm going to change to Pro with Math and Code if you have a premium. If you don't, it's okay. It still can do it. And I'm going to change this to Canvas. And that means it's going to open a window where it's going to actually do the code. So I'm going to say, let's go ahead and create a draft of the HTML. Okay. And again, this is because I'm doing on the video, I'm going to do it quickly. So you'll see here, it's working on the code. It says it's done, but it's not actually done. I can't preview it yet. But it's going to run for a minute, and then it'll pull up what it has and go to preview. So you can look through here, and you can see. Now, it's going to leave spots for the images because the preview here I've learned won't show you the images. But I can go through this page, and I can think about, is this what I want? And one thing I want is I might want to change the color scheme. I might say, I don't want this to look like it's for a class. So take off the EDUC 5130 tag. Start with images, not with text. So for example, those might be some changes I might make. Okay. So it said it did remove the course tag. Oh, it looks like it's putting those images at the top. So I'm not going to go back and forth much more on this right now, but we would hope you would. I want to show you how to put it on your Google site. So let me pull up a site to work with. Okay, so this is a random Google site that I created for a family thing. And I actually already tested this out. But what I'm going to do is I want to add a page. And I'm going to call it Using AI for Early Childhood Literacy or whatever, okay? And I'm going to add that. And I'm going to make sure that it's going to add the page here, which is good. And I'm going to go here. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to my Gemini here, not that one, this one. And I'm going to come over here to code. And I'm going to select it all. I actually did it with Control A on my PC and Control C. I'm going to copy all of this code. And I'm going to actually come over here. And what I need to do is I need to add insert. And I need to insert an embed. This allows me to do an HTML code, but I have to come over here to embed code. So this is my HTML code and I can paste it, all right? Now we're gonna see, it's gonna give a preview that you can look through, and it looks like the images aren't in the preview right now. So in fact, it looks like the images aren't in that either. So that is something I'm going to need to play with and see if I can figure out why. Now it's hard to see the whole thing until you preview the page. So I'm going to go ahead and do this preview to see what it looks like. Um, it looks like those images didn't, well, yeah, it looks like the images aren't showing. So that is something to investigate, but I can go ahead and look and see what the page looks like through that preview. Now, those images aren't showing, which is interesting. It worked when I did it the other day, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over here and I'm going to say, sorry, wrong one, again. I'm going to say, I have copied the HTML, that's this code, onto my website, onto my Google site. The images are not showing on the website. What should I do? Okay, it can be as simple as that. It might be, and I'm not sure if it has to do with how this created it, but I'm going to go ahead and give it a minute to see if it can help me refine it and do it. I can help you troubleshoot images from the canvas aren't showing. It's made it a bit tricky to embed from HTML tags. Before we look at changing code, make sure the sharing permissions are set to anyone is with the link. So it's going to walk me through this, and we're going to say, yes, they are set as that. Okay. And I'm going to see by going back and forth if it can figure it out. Now, if it doesn't figure it out, it doesn't figure it out. Okay. But I was able to do this the other day. So we're going to work with it a little bit to see if we can figure it out. It uses direct image sources. To get around this, we have two options. We can use an image hosting site or Google Sites native image tool. Remove the image placeholders and paste the text only HTML into your Google site, and then built-in images to place screenshots next to the HTML. That's really interesting because it worked for me the other day. I'm going to actually say I was able to get it working with a different site. I don't know why it won't work this time. Can you check the code? Okay, and that's something you can put. Let me just show you when I was doing it the other day. I did end up getting it to work, and this is kind of what this challenge is. I did end up getting images if they still, so I ended up being able to get these screenshots to work. You see where they got inserted here from other things, and I have a table here, and I have, right, so I was able to get it to work before, but again, it's AI, it's different. The issue is Google Drive handles links used to standard way to embed pages. They tighten their security. There's a secret alternative Google link format we can try, which bypasses this block. Yes, let's try that. Okay. Now, it is tricky, and you might need to do it a different way. So another way would be to get the first part of the HTML code and then add images, and then the next part of the HTML code and then images. The other option it was suggesting was to actually use a different image site for it. So maybe I'll show you how to do it. We'll try that. We'll try what it did right here. Let's wait for it to finish. And then we'll try maybe the other image site to see how it works. So I'm going to open all this and copy it. I'm going to go back to the site I was working on that was not working for me. On my pages, this AI one right here. And I'm going to take this and I'm going to edit it. I'm going to delete everything and replace it. Okay. And oh, look, this time it is working. I can already see up front. Now, it might not look exactly like I want because these images are the very front, right? But it actually is working this time. So for a hint, what AI did was it actually used a thumbnail trick with a size parameter. So if you're having trouble, you can ask it to do that. And let me show you the format of the links that it ended up using. If I go through, this is the code, and I can find at the very beginning, there's images right here. So this is the code it used right here for the link. So I can see display swap. We have size 1000. if you're having trouble, you can ask it, can you figure out how to do the Google thumbnail trick? All right. The other option, it's actually not too hard to host on a different place. How can I host the images somewhere else? And what we're having to do here is the images, the code can't recreate the whole images. So the website has to be using the code to pull the images from somewhere. And so if we're using a code, that's kind of what we have to do. So some free public Google Sites hack, GitHub. There's another one I've used before. Let me try it to find it. Okay, I'm pretty sure what I've used before is Imager, IMGUR. And I can actually sign in here. I'm not going to support them. And I should have an account. Let me do that. Okay, so when I come into my account here, let me go back to the home page. In Imager, I go to New Post, and I get this, and I put this here, and it gives me a new link. This is the image link. So what I can do here is I can actually come over here to Gemini, and I can say, here are the new links. And just like I did before, where I gave it a list of the files and the link names, the very beginning, I just need to change these links to what I get on Imager. And that should work better because it's a little bit more open. All right, and I can add more images, I can create new posts. The idea is to have a link for each image you have. So that is your second option to do that. So I hope this helps. I'm going to make a separate video just focusing only on the images to give some backup information about that. But basically, you're just exploring to see if you can make it work.